Hello, welcome to Fablemancer's. We made it to actual episode 2 after some fun technical difficulties last time. I'm here with everyone today. I'm so excited to tell some stories. But before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. Katie, take it away.
I'm Katie. I'm taking it away. I can be found on this channel mostly, doing lots of fun, cool, streamy things. I am also on Instagram at critical.spark. And that's really it for now. I don't know how to social media, but I'm around and looking at your stuff and going, oh yeah, that's awesome. So let's just kick it with me in my little corner. I don't know. I never know what to say here. And every single time Mint has something super cool that they say, and I'm always like, damn it, I should have thought about it beforehand. And I never do. So if that's an indication of who I am as a person, that's a good snapshot.
We still love you.
Yeah. Please, someone else talk. Or I will just keep talking.
Noah.
I'm Noah. I can be found on Instagram at Radioactive Voidfish and on Tumblr at Radioactive Inkstains. I do all sorts of creative things, mostly digital art, but also some makeup, cosplay, sewing, wig styling, drag, all sorts of things. So yeah, if you want to check that out, that's where I can be found.
Huzzah! Please do. Carl.
Oh, I'm Carl, pronounced he, him. You can find me on Twitter at A Field of Carl, where I'm mostly just talking about TTRPGs and Magic the Gathering.
Whoop.
Yeah, and Mint.
My name is Mint. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me under a really mossy rock, right between, well, really, the moss and the rock, using it as a nice blanket to keep me cool during these hot days. And if you want to contact me, you can find me on Instagram at monomint.
Yeah. And I am your GM tonight, Sam. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me at Chef Kargs on Twitter, or Fablemancers, or Questline. Tweet at me. You'll get me on all three. Before we get started, I'd like to also acknowledge that I am streaming to you from the unceded and traditional territories of the Musqueam Nation. It is our privilege and pleasure to work, play, and create on these beautiful lands, and I encourage you to look up the lands that you're on at home. Also, I'd like to...
Sailor-tooth.
Yeah, Sailor-tooth. Anyone else do a little... We'll come back to that.
I think Carl is too.
Yeah.
Ew.
Makes good sense. Oh, yeah, and if you aren't sure where you are, you can always look it up on native-land.ca. CA. I'll double check that. I'd also like to acknowledge that this group uses a set of safety tools so that if any scenes do get too intense, we will make a little X across the screen. This means that we're just going to switch our scene into something different and less triggering for ourselves, and if it does become too much, we will just simply turn off our cameras and walk away for a moment. For those of you at home, if anything triggers you, please make sure you pause the stream or the VOD and try checking back in a few minutes to see if we've switched it up. Remember, your mental health is the most important thing, and just make sure you protect yourself as well. That being said, I don't think we'll have too many horror elements today. Maybe a little bit of spider pig things, but nothing...
You'd think that would make it better,
crazy.
but it just makes it worse. I was like, oh, there's spider pigs. No, that's not better.
They're spogs. They're cute. And yeah.
Even technically spider pigs because they have 6 legs instead of 8 legs, so they're more like wasp pigs.
Or like ant pigs.
But, okay, so pigs have 4 legs, and spiders have 8, so like 6 seems like a meet in the middle scenario.
It could be.
I 100% thought that was on purpose. I thought we were like doing a meet you halfway kind of thing.
Well, without further ado, starts with that number. Oh, wait. So, unfortunately, last time we lost a little bit of our lovely roleplay to the audio gods that do not like me at the moment. They like me now. I've checked and double checked, and both
Knocked on wood.
both are good now. We got it. We've arrived. So to kind of give you a brief overview of what the world missed, we met up with the Vatican and got our mission to head off into space and kind of subvert the Mylokar Authority. The team worked together to hack / and defend their way past a patrol who was guarding the surface of Mylokar. Mylokar is ruled by the I want to say hierarchy, and that's incorrect. It's a monarchy.
Yes.
Also, it's really funny because the word monarchy is right here, and I just kept reading hierarchy. That's what?
Do I talk about Polly
Your
too
brain
much?
has
Is this
to
my
say.
fault?
No, please always talk about Polly. Love it. Love it.
Fabulous. Will do.
So Queen Dominia Rinselka is the authority there, and they've kind of like insulated themselves from the consortium. They don't want to be under the protection of or a part of the consortium, so they have their own authority and keep a neutral trade relationship with the consortium. But they've got some pretty interesting animals that make incredible pets and or potent poisons, and you have been contracted to head to their system and swipe a few of these animals for resale on the black market. Well, not really the black market. The consortium doesn't have the black market, that kind of black market. It's open trade for these pets, but the Mylokar won't take too kindly if you just take their animals off their planet without
It's
conditions.
a legitimate business deal. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a legitimate
We're
business
all
deal.
very legitimate business people.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of forced into this job a little bit because on being unable to complete your last mission with the space whales that the geezers are trying to take care of at the moment, you took this job on and got your fuel paid for, which was pretty impressive.
Very relentless.
Landing on the surface, the crew found their way through the jungle trying to find a water source, only discovering that a lot of the water sources are underground, and there are plenty of cave systems here where the spogs, these like 6 appendaged hog-like creatures that have like bright, like not bright green, but like foresty, like jungly green fur that kind of like has spots like a cow would, and that's what you're trying to capture because they are adorable and cute while they're small.
So a cow spider pig now.
There's a little bit of cow in there now, yes.
What have they been doing on this planet?
Evolving?
I guess so.
Crossbreeding. A lot.
So after a day in the jungle, we find our crew, who is resting by the campfire before they delve into the caverns below.
I think that it's important, Sam, that we have to address the fact that Alecto's really upset right now. Otherwise, they're like, why is he being such a dweeb more than usual? But before we landed on the planet, we got some information that like a lot of the plants and the wildlife and stuff are dangerous or poisonous. So everyone immediately started telling Alecto not to just lick things he finds on the ground. Maybe not Mama. Maybe she didn't do that, but everyone else. And started like making up stuff of what would happen if you licked the plants and things to like mess with Alecto. But I think everyone forgets that Alecto is actually wicked smart, and so did a little like, I don't know what the insight check is here, but it was something. We figured it out and knew everyone was just fucking with him, and just said that he doesn't think anyone really takes him very seriously, and then stomped off into the woods like a teenager would, and now is cranky. Is
other
cranky and
words-
sullen.
He's salty because we said don't eat the plants, and he said I'm gonna eat them all, and we said no, don't do that because your skin will fall off of your bones. And he said, why
He
don't
didn't
you
say I
take
was
us
gonna eat them all. He
seriously?"
said you telling me that I can't eat them makes me want to eat them.
Exactly.
I
Implying
didn't say I would.
anyways.
We'll talk about this later. But I just wanted to make sure everyone's like on board with why Alecto's being such a weenie at this particular junction. So everyone's around the campfire and Alecto's like off by himself, like.
Yeah, you're around the campfire. You're used to like kind of like roughing it a little bit. You've built up like a fire that's quite proficient and have reheated several meals. There are a couple of options to choose from. These are like MRE style meals. Just add a bit of hot water and boom, you got food. So Belker, what's one of the meals that Amy brought along for you?
Ooh, I think it's just like pork chops and peas.
Yeah, and like you're used to like thick pork chops, but these are like little wafer thin ones that are just like just enough so that they read up. And beans.
Dehydrated pork chop and like peas, yeah.
Peas, nice. Like mushy peas.
Yeah.
Delicious. Cog, what are you eating from these MREs?
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans? Sick.
Rice and beans.
Is it like spiced or is it just straight up rice and beans?
It's pretty darn plain, but it's like familiar. You're like, yeah, this is it's normal. There's like, they got a little salt. Maybe there's some corn in there, but there's not much. Pretty darn plain.
Alecto?
I imagine it's like a hot pocket, but it's actually made out of cauliflower instead of dough.
Do you know?
Alecto can't tell. He doesn't know.
Nice.
He doesn't know campfire.
Yeah, it's like the processed cheese and like really sugary tomato sauce, but the crust is cauliflower.
Chic. And Amy, what did you surprise everyone with your dessert since you can't eat?
Strawberry shortcake.
Oh,
Good.
Yeah.
Little portions for everyone.
That sounds delicious.
Alecto's trying to pick off the strawberries when you're not looking. Chuck over the
They're
ground.
literally covered in like sugary syrup, and Alecto's still like, ew, fruit.
Yeah, fruit. I can see the fruit. I can touch the fruit with my tongue. No way.
Oh, that's
Just licking
amazing.
the whipped cream off of it and then eating the bottom.
Just like my cousin when they were small.
I do want you to know that Alecto is based on my childhood. So.
I love it.
So it was very similar.
As you're kind of like finishing up your meals and a satisfying day, campfire dims a little bit, and the opportunity to kind of like tell a story around the campfire comes up. Who would like to go first?
You want to hear how I met a butcherfish?
It's a butcher
What?
fish.
Well, back like 4 or 5 years ago, Cog like leans back in their hammock beside the fire. Back in the yard, we have this like pump thing, communal water pump, and it supplies the showers, right? And it went down. So, of course, we have to go out into the fucking desert and get into the oasis out there. And the oasis out there, there's a little lake. But that lake has got fish in it. And the fish were never a problem until this one day when I went out there to bathe because the pump was down. I hop in the lake. Obviously, I'm buck-ass naked, don't have my knife to defend myself or anything. This fucking salmon comes out of nowhere. It's got a knife under its fin, and it just chops my foot straight off. Really gone. So I start kicking at this fish, and another one comes up, and it's got 2 fucking knives under its fins, and it cuts the rest of my leg off, up to the knee.
So, my leg is in 2 fucking pieces at the bottom of this oasis lake, and I've got to crawl all the way back to town because nobody else is out here. So I haul myself out of the water, and I put my clothes back on, and I drag myself the 5 miles back to town. And everybody's like, holy shit, what happened to you? I was like, the salmon have knives. They're wielding knives again. Now,
Again?
Again?
it happened once, like 50 years ago, and everybody just sort of thought that it was like a weird rumor, but it turned out to be true. So
Every 50
now we
years
don't.
they come back.
Yeah, they resurfaced. Everybody thought old Johnny was off his rocker talking about these fish wielding knives in the oasis, and then I encountered them, and they took my leg.
He
So
was onto something.
yeah, he wasn't crazy. So that's why we
think
call
Alecto
salmon
is-
butcher fish.
Oh boy, I don't think Alecto believes a goddamn word of this story. Like, I think he's like, here's the thing. I think he like wants to believe it because it's a ridiculous story and it's kind of cool, but like has recently been fucked with and is just like staring at him the whole time, being like,
Like lifts up their left leg and is like, see, I even got the bones right here. I had to go back out to the oasis to get the bones to build my prosthetic. And as you can see,
Your bones.
right here, they point at like halfway down, it's cut in half. So, butcher fish. True story,
down a
kid.
pad and types in salmon with knives. See what it comes up.
This entire history starts to come up about this place that an angel came down from heaven to grant the mortals mastery over divine magic. And as these people evolved from the sea and grew 8 times in size, the seas rose because of like the displacement of water as these creatures became like gigantic, like gigafauna, and the world was suddenly put underwater, and everything either evolved or died. And as the crabs and other crustaceans continued to evolve, the salmon developed knife skills, and eventually becoming double-bladed, knife-wielding, holy smokes creatures. The orcas led a rebellion, and the crabs then took off to space to find more angels to devour.
Okay, but the website I'm looking at, is it like .org or is it like a BuzzFeed?
The realtruthnow.org.
Yeah, right, realtruthnow.cult or like realtruthnow.fisherholy.
Whatever that
Bro.
dude's called.
There's over 16 trillion subscribers to this news service.
Doesn't make it news. I think that we are aware of that as a North American country.
I'd say you, as Alecto, can decide whether to believe this or not, but there is a substantial amount of history on the galactic subnet about this.
All right, we'll put it away for now, but there's going to be some deep web shit going on later.
That's how I lost my leg. I don't know what to tell you, kid.
Whatever.
It's a pretty cool story. I've seen some pretty wild shit out there sometimes. But one time, on a run, we're like way out of the lanes, you know? We're like nowhere near charted space. We're running on like sublight engines, just charting a new path, trying to get out of the system. And we see this light. It's like blinking. It's not a planet, it's not a star, we don't know what it is, but we figure we might as well check it out, why not, right? And we get there, there's nothing there. Think, alright, maybe there's a satellite or something passed by, we don't know. We don't know what it's doing out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, deep void of space, but whatever. It happens. Then that night, deep in the base of the ship, pipes just start rattling. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I think that's weird, but you know, old shit. This kind of stuff happens. Next night, again, same spot, rattling. 1, 2, 3. And then again, an hour later. The next night, 3 times, an hour apart each time. And this keeps accelerating. And before long, we start getting something coming up in the code of the ship's computer. And just the tech guy comes up, he's like, all over the code, there's this comment that didn't used to be there before in the programming of the ship's drive. It just says teeth. Teeth, 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 over and over, and this rattling's happening every night. We have no idea what's going on. For long, we can't sleep. It's rattling all night long, it's rattling all day long, just constant rattling in this one spot in the ship. Soon Johnny, he breaks. He pulls out one of his teeth, he puts it right by those rattling pipes, and he walks away. He sleeps like an angel the next night. None of that rattling woke him up. Rest of us, up all night, tossing and turning, all we get is just this insane rattling. So loud, reverberating through the ship. For long, we all pull the tooth out and put it down there. Except for, of course, Jameis. He's always the skeptic, you know, the real, like, truth teller, like, I don't believe in anything kind of guy. He refuses. The rest of us are sleeping great through the night every night until we get back to port, but we get back and he's just, you know, bags under his eyes. He's lost 10 pounds. He's just having a terrible time, not sleeping for days and days. He's, you know what, we made it back to port. I'm never getting back on this ship again. I didn't have to give up a tooth, so screw you guys. Walks out, doesn't even make it off the dock. Ox falls on him, and he's done right there. All of us, we were just out of the way and we're fine. Everyone who gave up a tooth. Ever since then, see right there. I'm missing one. It's just the kind of shit you see out there. It's some cool shit out in space. As this is going on, like the lights are just like dimming because we're on this fire, and it's just coming down to embers, and he's leaning in with the shadows on his eyes. And it's just how it goes out there.
Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice a body part to some entity to survive. How it is.
I mean, we all got like at least 30 teeth, right? It's not like you lose one, it's a big deal.
I got a buddy who collects teeth in the yard.
What do I roll to see if Alecto pees his pants?
I think that's, you know what? This sounds like a saving throw for the first time.
Right?
I would say it is a mental saving throw.
Yeah.
Was that a D20?
Yeah, it's a D20, and so you're trying to... Yeah, our first D20 roll of the campaign.
Oh my god.
So
I'm so glad it's for this.
So it's a D20 against your... you set the DC, so based on your...
So it's for mental.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a 14 is my DC, so it has to be
14 or up.
lower or higher. Okay. 14 or higher. All right, let's go, buddy.
Oh!
15.
Yeah, you just like kind of like hold on, like. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Alecto was like sitting there being like, yeah, whatever, super, like, that was stupid story, Cog. And then, like, the minute this scary story started happening, he was, like, super interested. And, like, the minute the code stuff came up, he was like, this is my worst nightmare. Like, just seeing random code that, like, wasn't there before that has no explanation. Like, oh my god. And then, like, physical pain. Ah! But didn't pee his pants. But he will go now take a tinkle. But not that far away because he wants to see me on the fight.
Yeah, do you throw another log on this fire or do you let it go out?
Oh, yeah!
Wait till after the story, but yeah, then we'll throw a log on the fire.
When he comes back, Amy will sort of like shuffle closer to him and like open her arms for like a little cuddle if he needs.
He's gonna definitely like pretend like he's like, oh yeah, whatever, it wasn't even that scary. Hug me, mommy.
Like rubbing his back. You're safe. And then sort of like pauses and thinks and says, well, I might have a story. I used to be good at telling stories, but it's been a while.
Please don't make
And
it
then it's not about tea.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this kindness.
But she takes a deep breath and starts her story. Across 9 rivers, over 9 mountains, and in the vast open waters of the ocean was a mermaid who loved the stars. And in the quiet of night, she would swim to the surface to dream of a life amongst them. One day, in the early hours of morning, a ship carrying the crown princess sailed through and found the mermaid. They decided to cast their net into the water and attempt to capture the rare creature, but the mermaid, tired from a night of stargazing, was far too weak to fight back and gave in to their capture. They imprisoned the mermaid in an isolated part of the ship, and she stayed there alone for days until she received a visit from the crown princess, who sobbed her that the crew had lost their map in the night and now couldn't get home. The mermaid offered her expertise of the seas to help them navigate and in return for her freedom. The princess vowed to free her once they were all home safe. She was released from her small prison, but kept in chains, so she couldn't escape before the deal could be fulfilled. The princess, fascinated by both the mermaid and her knowledge, found every excuse to spend time with her, and countless days and nights they were by each other's sides. The mermaid felt a bond growing between them, and one night, when they were alone and under the stars that she loved so much, the mermaid confessed the feelings brewing inside her, but the princess did not reciprocate. The mermaid, confused, horrified, and embarrassed, flew into a wild rage. Sobbing, she grabbed the helm and violently spun the wheel and crashed the ship into nearby rocks, for if they couldn't be together, they simply wouldn't be. And then she's just silent. There's you can hear a mechanical whirling coming from her, but she's just silent and staring into the fire.
What do I roll to see if Alecto cries?
Another mental saving?
No, I'm not doing it. I feel like the story was starting to lull him to sleep on her shoulder, and then it got dark. He was like, ah! I think it's terrible.
I'm so sorry.
Did you make that story up?
Oh, is it my turn to tell a story?
Wait, what?
She seems to not remember what she just said.
Alecto, she's short-circuiting again.
Is there a way to I don't know, can I is this a rude request? Can I plug into you?
So generally you don't do that here, Mother.
Okay, Katie is embarrassed. Alecto doesn't know what he just said. I just want to run diagnostics.
I think she'd just say that she doesn't understand why he'd want to.
I just want to run diagnostics. Because you just said a story and then now you're saying you don't remember your story, and that's weird.
Go ahead. I don't feel like anything's wrong with me. Content, even though our captain just shared a horrifying story.
Okay. Is that a thing I can do? Can I merge with her in some way? Everything I'm saying, it's not. She's a computer, right? Can I hack her in some way that it's not sexual in any manner?
What do you want to get out of this? You can, but what do you want to get out of it?
I just want to see if I can find a system error or something. If something happened and she doesn't remember it, then that doesn't make any sense because she's not. That doesn't make sense.
So
how could she give us information unless she was giving us information? She's in charge of herself. So checking her memory chip core thing.
So I'll say two things. One, if you're delving for that kind of information, IME's systems are so intricate and complex that it's difficult to separate what like the program from the being. And so you can attempt this. It is a difficulty of 12.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
You're
I'm gonna.
and here's what the
Go ahead.
consequence is for
Oh well.
for failure.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know.
You could cause some corruption to Ime's memories.
Seems like she's causing her own corruption. I don't know. I'm gonna say, Ime, are you at all concerned that you said stuff that you don't remember just now?
No, I feel like that happens with you all the time.
I always remember what I say, but sometimes I don't want to. It's a bit different.
Don't
Well,
typically
one
forget
time,
things that
I did ask you to
just
clean your room.
said, though. Like, you just told a story, and then we were like, hey, wild story, and you were like, huh?
Yeah, like, I forget what you say all the time. That's not the same as forgetting what I just said just like a second ago.
But you did say that you would clean your room, and it's a mess.
Oh, I didn't forget. I
He
mean,
was
yeah, oh
totally
no,
lying.
whoops. But again, that's something that you said. No, it's you just told us a story about like a princess and a mermaid who had like fell in love and then killed each other. It was a whole thing, and then pretended that just happened.
Well, that doesn't sound like me.
See, and that's the part that you don't.
I mean, if it's just a memory bug, she'll last until we're back at the ship, right?
That's true. I guess we could check her out later when we have better tools. It's just weird. Okay, well, we'll talk about it later. It's probably not the time or place. Okay.
Yeah, we can investigate her back in the ship.
Yeah.
It's weird, but we've got to find these critters. And as long as she's generally operating fine, it's probably fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel fine.
And we're fine.
But if
Usually
guess
when
that,
this- when-
it's not the
when
worst
we
thing in the
tell-
world.
I guess, but usually when we tell Ime that like something's weird, she's concerned about it, and she's not about this. So I feel weird about that. See? Whatever. Anyway.
So as each of you tuck into your hammocks because you've decided not to sleep on the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell a story. We're all supposed to tell a story. One time, I'm like in my bedroll, like shouting this from a distance, and like, one time when I was in school, I passed my biology test about poisonous plants, cause I hacked into the system and read everything there was to know about poisonous plants, and then I took my test and I got an A+. So that's my story. Good night.
Did you read about the poisonous plants of the Mylokar System?
I read not to lick them. Plants in general.
It's a very good thing to read, Alecto.
It was like, don't lick these plants, they're poisonous, and if you ingest them, you'll get poisoned. And so I was like, cool, probably won't lick any plants in my near future.
Well, so you're
That was-
knowledgeable
that's-
enough not
I-
to joke about eating the
I
poison
was
plants.
7. I was 7 then.
It's a good life skill to have. I'll lick your plants.
Anyways, good night.
Yeah. Night.
I haven't licked a plant in years.
Good night.
I so want to know what Belker's last plant licking experience was like.
He's already.
We'll save that for another day.
As you all fall asleep, Ime powers down first, and as the embers of the fire are extinguished, you look up and you see an incredible set of stars. You can see a Mutara-class nebula in the far distance coloring the skies purple, as you have a vivid, there's no light pollution where you are. And it's calming and relaxing, and before long, you all fall asleep. And in that sleep, you have vivid dreams Alecto a few times about teeth. Cog,
How dare you?
You dream of.
How dare you?
You dream of getting the dosage wrong on a patient that one time, and it's still kind of stuck with you, giving them not enough medication to negate the pain of a surgery. Belker, you dream of just drifting in space as if being ejected out of the words. What are words? They're just gone.
Airlock?
Airlock?
I got airlocked right there. My brain was like, I'm dead. But you don't
Wonderful to watch.
die in these dreams. Like, you just experience space for the incredible cold and the gasping of air, but not in a terrifying way, but in a very calming way. Like, you've been in space for most of your life. I mean, you do not dream, but you do begin to sort the day's events into various data files and store away logged emotions of the crew and how you can better their nutritional quotient for the next day. As you all awaken to the first light jetting over the canopy of the jungle and onto your hammocks, you get up and set out to head into these caves. You see that the cave system is there are 3 large cavern openings around a central clearing in the jungle. Roots and vines run thick through the clearing, and you can see that on the far side of the clearing from where you've walked out, you're in between 2 of these caverns, with the third one being directly across the clearing from you. You can see at the far side the spog colony that is there, of several little baby spogs and 3 of the larger parents kind of looking after them, making sure they're doing their thing, keeping an eye out for threats. When you hear the screeching from the treetops as these flying, howling deaths, as they're called in the native Mylokar, swoop down and take one of the babies. You see the parents charge off after it as this thing just continues to fly away. And while the parents are distracted, more of the howling death come and take the others.
I think, Sam, for the audience who missed our last episode, you should maybe describe what the howling death is. Yeah.
These are also 6-legged creatures. They have longer appendages than the spogs. So the spogs have these short little stubby feet, and these are more elongated and oddly prehensile. So imagine these 6-legged, with abdomens and a face that are painted on one side, or the colorings, the markings that they have look like these skull heads, but elongated skulls that appear to be screeching. And the way that their bodies are shaped and their exoskeletons, the way they catch the wind as they fly through the air at an impressive 40 kilometers an hour, make the screeching sound. So it's not them actually yelling, it is just the way that their body catches the wind and plays this horrible screeching music as they go. The faster they go, the louder this gets. And when they impact with the baby spogs, the screeching stops because the spog's body interrupts the intricate pattern that the wind would blow through, making them that much harder to track.
Cool. Katie is feeling disgusted by this, and Alecto is feeling really sad for the spogs, and it is a very strange mishmash of emotions to hold in my body right now.
But the cavern openings are clear. There don't appear to be any more of these creatures swooping through the air. You would hear them from a mile away.
Are there any spogs left? They all gone.
No, the parents have charged off to try and go after the first spog that was first spog baby that was captured, but the rest got taken when they weren't watching.
Okay.
So
Well, I don't want to
That's
get
it.
eaten by one of those things. Should we just go into the caves?
Oh, I
and
should
just
also mention for our
grab
audience,
more
these
spogs?
also Alecto did some background research, and these things don't hunt humanoids. Their primary prey is the spogs. So even though they have a deadly venom, they will not hunt like humanoid creatures, and the only times that humanoids have been recorded as being injected with this venom is when they just are in the way.
Yeah, so like it's not really that we're gonna get eaten by them. It's more that they're just gonna keep snatching our prey from us forever and ever, probably, Captain.
Well,
Just
then,
like go into their cave system and look
Well,
for
like
them
yeah,
then?
because the screaming death guys, like they live in the trees, and I don't think there's trees in caves, so probably our best bet is to go into the caves. Yeah.
Typically, there's not trees in caves, so yeah, I guess. Let's.
yeah, and
I haven't.
that.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah.
if you find another
Typically.
spog nest near some trees, we can maybe lay in wait to try and catch, because we want to catch one of these screaming death things too, right? So like, could maybe
Or
try
just get
and
the venom.
use the spogs as bait.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
we should probably
Guess
just
so.
head in first and see what we see in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the caves first, and we'll worry about the venom guys later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's get to it. Belker will march off towards the entrance of one of these caves.
Yeah, how would you like to look for more spogs inside of the caves? And who's taking point?
I would like to be very much in the very middle, which is what Katie does when she was to haunted houses with people. But Alecto's got he's got like dark vision glasses. His like cyberpunk gunner glasses. He like touches a button and it turns all, so I can see in dim lights. So that will be helpful. I don't know. I mean, can you see? Can you see in the dark?
That's a good question.
Or, like,
I mean,
sonar
she
in the
does
dark.
have-
I don't know.
She does have light. So, she's like a flashlight.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna need
just,
flashlights
like-
anyways. Pocket eye, so
I guess so. It's just, like things that live in the dark generally like the dark, and so if we're gonna use flashlights, they'll probably run away from the light. That's all. Just saying facts.
Spogs live in like caves, yeah, but they also like we just saw them at the mouth of the cave, so they like see light.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
be
just
fine.
they'll probably skitter. Just get ready for some skittering, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because like if you shine it at them, they'll probably skitter. So like that's a good way to find them. I'm just saying that's prepare for skittering.
I feel like it's not necessarily seeing per se, but it's like mapping out where things are. So it could probably
Sonar?
I don't think it's sonar. I don't know how to describe what I'm thinking
anybody
here.
good at tracking? Like anybody got a good sense for that sort of thing?
Good
you
at
seem
noticing
like somebody-
things.
Can I
All
program
right,
a
that's a good
cave?
start.
Can you program a cave?
Yeah, Cog, do you
I
want to
wanna
maybe
look-
just
Is it the bat cave?
take the lead? You seem to have the most experience with this sort of scavenging type thing.
I can try. I mean, I can find things in junkyards, but we'll see how I do with living creatures.
How different can it be?
I want to try and
That
look
should be
for.
easier.
Well, not if they move. I want to look for the like green fur or
Hmm.
spog poop or spog footprints.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I think there's kind of
Footprints.
there's a couple ways to kind of go about this. Like, to me, like D&D background, definitely survival checks are a lot to do with tracking. I'd also say, like, in this instance, utilizing like your sneak skill could also, like, how to sneak, so like how other things might be able to sneak around or camouflage themselves. or using your know or expert skills in order to kind of just have enough knowledge to be able to track these things.
It's fair because I feel like we know they're in these caves somewhere. Like, we know they're here. So it's not like we're trying to track, like, they're here somewhere. We just have to find them. So
Yeah, I'm mostly just
like,
trying to, like, look around and notice any signs of, like, which way they are. Like, if they go deeper into the cave, if there's, like, more... Which way are we going? Navigate by sign of spog activity, like wherever the most activity seems to be, go that way.
And you're trying to do a notice check?
Yeah.
Okay.
To notice, like, fur rubbed up on the walls or stuff like that. It's that have been chewed at, like, I don't know if they eat roots, but, like, potentially roots that have been chewed at or stuff like that.
Sure. I would say...
Can I help by giving her my glasses? My, like, dark vision glasses?
Potentially.
It's like an assist? Yeah?
Yeah. Do you want to...
I'd like to help.
Yeah, describe how you're helping.
Go ahead.
That was how I was helping. I don't know. I guess it's not really a role. It's like giving an asset. So I don't know like how that's different. But that was me like trying to like help with the role.
Does the item say like it makes it more? It makes it easier to see in low light conditions, right?
Or low light goggles, yes.
I'd say this would certainly help and decrease the difficulty from 10 to 9. Belker, you want to help as well?
Yeah, I want to try and basically just make sure everybody's staying quiet, you know, because Belker is proficient in sneak, so like trying to make sure we're not like making too much of a ruckus, so we're more likely to like not just notice tracks, but be able to like approach anything we find, that sort of thing. And make sure we're not like disturbing the caves too much.
Yeah.
Or like keeping us quiet while Cog does her thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, make that roll, and if you are successful at a DC of 8, then I will reduce the difficulty by 1.
You can do it.
So I'm thinking dexterity for sneak. So that puts me at a total +1, so 9.
Nice, that beats it. So you've brought the difficulty down as well. Does Amy want to help with the scene?
I don't have anything that I'm efficient in, but she could be scanning, like doing notice essentially, but it would be more like scanning things or signs.
Sure. And do you want to contribute? Because with the success, so beating an 8 on a notice check means that you add, or you make the check a little easier. You -1. Alternatively, if you don't do well enough, you might have the chance of doing the opposite.
Of making it more difficult?
I feel like they're in a pretty good position.
Yeah. The diplomat steps aside.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Cog. Put these on your face.
You don't have to whisper, but thanks.
No, but
You should whisper.
Captain
Yeah.
Captain said be sneaky. Why aren't you whispering?
All right, I'll whisper, I guess.
Okay, you're welcome for the glasses. Enjoy your darkness. Jesus.
Thank you.
God.
All right, let's make that roll.
Good thinking, Alecto.
I hope you fail.
7.
Oof. So 8 was the difficulty, and with a 7, so you spend several hours kind of hunting around, looking for signs. The plant life in here has not really been nibbled on, and you find yourself going deeper and deeper into the cave, and you still haven't seen any of the spogs in here. What you do
Sam.
notice...
I thought that you said this difficulty was 7 now because we both took it down 1 from 9, right?
Nope.
From 10.
10.
Oh, from 10. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you're just under that threshold. So like you search around, you should be finding like a small colony of these things by now. Like by the research that you did before you got here, it's not adding up. You get to kind of like a dead end, and you can see towards the end of it, about 250 meters away, there's something not Spog-like at the end here. Something hulking in nature. This large creature seems to be slumbering. And it is the size of a boulder.
That's a nice boulder.
It's not a boulder.
We're talking.
We don't know yet. Cog's doing it.
Cog, what would you like to say to your crew as you see this?
I turn back and I go, there's a big thing. Does not look like a spog.
Back. Let's go.
Run away. Yeah.
Let's go.
It might be valuable.
No.
Just halfway up the cave already. No way, no how. I'm not fighting a weird bear that's also a leopard that's also a I don't know, llama or something. Let's get out of here.
This will be a difficult sneak check of 10 to get out of here without it waking. I'd love, again, same kind of setup. I want someone to make the main roll, and how are the rest of you helping with this sneak check?
Captain should make the
I
main
can
roll.
take the lead on this, yeah.
How do I help? Can I program? I'm just kidding.
There's possibilities, yes.
To program Aimee to shut the fuck up, or like?
She's not gonna go.
I think I'm programmable.
First step.
Mom is taking so
Use
much
your
violence
magic
today.
About using your magic brain, Alecto.
to kind of like plant a seed in your brain here.
Oh, right. I have powers.
Oh, those two.
Can I, as a way to assess, thank you for reminding me I'm psychic. I always forget, and that was the most exciting part for me when I was making the characters, that I really wanted to be precog, and I constantly forget I have that ability, so thank you for everybody. Can I use my Oracle to look for ways that we would fuck it up, and then tell people not to do those things? So like look for like rocks people could trip on, or like just like see what would happen. So my Oracle ability, it costs 1 psionic effort, and it gives me a single brief vision related to a question about 1 minute. Wow, I wrote this way badly. Basically, I can see 1 minute into the future about a question that I have. So it's like, okay, I want to see the next minute and see if like no one sneaked well, or just like, or even if we did try to, what will go wrong, so that I can tell someone to do something differently.
I am curious. I want to kind of see like how far you can push this, and like, do you have like a skill rating in this ability, or it's one that doesn't have that at all?
A skill rating?
Because like I know you get to do it like automatically.
I can just do it, but I also like my psychic training is one of my foci, so I have a +1 to precog, and so like I think I have to roll for precog.
Could you? Yeah, just roll your precog for it. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you a few things regardless, but I just want to see how far you can take it.
Okay, so the +1 to precog is just to my skill, not dice. So I'm rolling 2d6.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 2d6 +1.
And
Well,
whatever, plus whatever abilities.
Right, and then I'm using my wisdom.
Beautiful.
Okay. Let's do it. Alright, guys. Breathe deeply. He's just gonna like lean against the wall for a second and just like look up like and then looks to the future. Like it's very That's So Raven, but he thinks it looks really cool.
Nice. Yeah.
7, 8, 9 in total.
That's huge. You see a couple of different possibilities. You see Cog running up ahead and kicking a loose stone that causes like a little cascade and getting everyone in trouble. And then you like reset and you play through it again. And you see Amy like trying to remind everyone to drink their water canteens as you're trying to leave. It's just like one of those internal like sensors like goes off and you're like, yeah.
She has like a setting, yeah.
You also see a future in which you all just turn and like you like roar at this thing as it unfurls itself and stands at the height of this cavern, which is almost the height of the cavern. So it's pushing like 5 meters.
I don't know what that means. How many feet is
like
that?
12 feet, a little more than that.
I rolled to pee my pants.
It like unfurls like
Let's go.
4 sets of arms as it stands up on its legs, and these huge webbed hands that are perfect for cupping. You can see that like it will just grab.
Cupping?
Yeah, it will grab all 4 of you with these hands, and then the vision cuts out because it's only a minute.
Gonna stifle a scream because I know we're being snicky.
But you know you can change this future.
Yes. Okay, so then as my form of helping, I would be like, everyone just wait, and then do my and then it's like the music. It's like the Community episode where he does all the flashbacks and there's all like the music that happens obviously, and then but not out loud because that would wake the bear or whatever that is, and so he's just going to like use his comm pad. Well, only you have a comm pad, don't you, Amy?
I thought everybody does.
Everyone has a comm pad?
I think we all have one. I have one.
Fabulous. Then I'm going to like
never
type
use it.
into the comm pad because I can type without looking 100%. Like Amy, turn off all alarms. Cog, turn off all stepping on rocks. Watch your feet, bro. And then everyone don't yell at the bear thing. I don't know why it's a bear. I've decided it's a bear, but it has 4 arms and legs and webbed hands. I don't know. Anyway, just, yeah, that's what I have to say. Just watch your step. I need turn off all your alarms. Let's do this. Slow and steady, people. Slow and steady.
As like also part of your vision, one of the times that you go ahead, you look up on your pad what this fucking thing is called, and it's a Gorth Moradon.
I beg your unbelievable pardon.
It's a cool name.
What is it called?
A Gorth Moradon.
First of all, Gesundheit. Second of all, that sounds like something that would kill us.
It
Gorth
is.
Moradon.
It is when it's asleep is because it is full. It only wakens to feed, and it is known for capturing its prey and preserving it so that it can ferment it for later.
Alecto hates this fucking planet. Let's get out of here.
These things are also incredibly rare.
I'm not gonna share that information. I don't wanna. But I will be like, it's awful. It's bad. If it wakes up, it'll eat us. Let's not wake it up. Let's go.
Cog is gonna take the bandana off their neck and wrap it around all the like buckles and like bags and stuff on their belt, just so that they don't jingle.
Many buckles.
Yeah. And take off their boots so that they're less like stompy and like kicking rocks. They're more agile about it, and they hold their boots and their like big medical messenger bag very still, holding on to anything that could like rattle or jingle as they move.
So I'm going to scale this difficulty. So it started at 10. It's down to 8 because of Alecto's future sight precog super abilities. Cog and Amy, when you roll to help, you'll get an additional +1. And then Belker, you'll make the final check.
Okay, so Cog is silencing herself or themselves.
And-
Imi does the same, but it's like you can hear sort of like any mechanical whirling that's like sort of normal becomes more quiet, and they send air into like the soles of their shoes, so it's more like bouncy.
It's like you're turning off your fan that keeps your computer cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Also, don't do that. Keep your computers cool.
Keep
Sorry,
it
I'm
cool,
rolling.
stay in school.
2d6.
We're rolling sneak.
You can roll because you're helping. Tell me how you're helping, and then roll a skill of your choice. So like, tailor it to the moment. Give me something interesting from your character's perspective. And if you need recommendations, I'm more than happy to oblige. But I want you to kind of like decide like whether like this is something you're really good at, or if it's something you're average at, or if maybe it's not something you're good at and you're gonna take a risk and roll that.
How good are you at silencing your buckles, Cog?
Probably the normal amount.
And remember, if you really can't think of what you want to roll, you can always just roll work. Work is the catch-all for everything.
Work.
Yeah, you better work.
I'd say mine is sneak, and while I'm not like proficient in it, Imi would be like good at it in the sense that they know how to like shut down certain parts to make them more quiet, and then obviously the air thing into their souls.
Yeah, let's go.
You're Iron Man.
I'm Iron Woman.
I'm so sorry. You're Iron them.
You could say. And you said +1,
Mm-hmm.
so 8.
Is great. Yep, success.
It rhymed.
I think I can roll no to like know all of the things on my person that normally make sound.
Yeah, like whenever like you like walk out of your house and like you're like keys, wallet, phone, etc. Like that little like tap.
Testicles, wallet,
Yep.
and watch.
Yeah, you do like the tap.
Make sure that you check the clap of your ass cheeks.
Before you try to sneak.
Oh, those can't be stopped.
They can, but it's a lot of effort.
Actually, I
like-
drew
I just-
Cog and I gave them like almost no ass. So
An
I just
unstoppable
wanna
force
ask,
meets an
like,
unmovable
maybe my
object.
body-
I do want to clarify, like, Cog, I imagine Cog as having, like, many buckles and stuff because they like to be loud. And I assume that's a thing. But also, maybe not. Maybe you just, like, don't think about it. I don't know. I'm curious about whether Cog's like, yeah, fuck you. I make noise when I walk.
is utilitarian, but in the back of their head, they're like, "Yeah, I sound cool."
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
It came about because of the utility, but now it's just sort of like a
Yeah.
Anyways, I rolled a
Right.
7.
6 plus 1, 7. 6 is the difficulty for your help on this, so yes, that also decreases it. So it is a 6 on your sneak check, Belker, to successfully get out of here with everyone.
Let's go. It's
creeping
gonna roll
around.
like a 15 or something. We'll be like, what was the point of all that help?
I physically cannot roll 15, but
I know, I was being funny, God.
I'm also gonna like have my rifle out too once we start moving.
Okay, yeah.
Big
Ooh,
roll.
big roll indeed. What does this look like as you kind of like
Whoa.
lead everyone carefully out of this cave?
Dang! 11? What?
+1, 12.
Yeah, so 12.
Dang.
I think Belker's like pulls the rifle out, gets real low, and is just kind of like pointing to people and like pointing out routes kind of thing, and like taking the lead, and you know, just like hand signals kind of stuff, like go like what's that? Go around that way, that kind of stuff. Basically silent and just kind of like directing people with his hands as we move out of there.
Alecto can't see because he gave away his glasses, so I think he's just holding onto the back of Belker's shirt. Leave me out, Daddy.
Amazing, yeah. As you get back to the entrance to this cavern, you You look behind, and like every time you've like checked back, nothing. Still asleep. Seems like this creature had its fill and is going to be in hibernation for quite some time to come. As you reach the surface, you look out across the clearing. You see the other two caverns, and you also see, making their way across the clearing, the two adult spog with their little baby spog. It seems one of the parent spog did not make it back, but they did retrieve one of their children.
We try and get that baby.
Yeah, you want to try and get this baby?
I mean, we have to get multiple of them, right?
I mean, he's like as many as you can bring.
I would also say that you instantly recognize as this is a mated pair.
Yeah, but we would just want to grab the baby, right? Because they don't want adults. Oh, right?
I don't think it... Did it matter? Did they want babies specifically? I can't remember.
They do want babies specifically.
They're cute and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a question for everybody. Do 13-year-olds care about the sadness of others in animal form, or are they super heartless and terrible? I can't remember.
That entirely depends on what kind of a 13-year-old you are.
Yeah. depends
I
on the
think
person.
Electo's a soft lad. I think he's actually gonna really struggle with this, but he's gonna like not try not to show it because everyone else is just like a hardened person. So.
Me, Noah, I'm like, oh, little baby Spug, we gotta protect him.
I know.
The Cog is like, I need the
No.
money, dude. I need that cash. I do not care. Like, that's Cog's perspective.
Amy would recognize that there's an objective and it would need to be like completed, but I think a part of her is like, that's wrong. You just lost all of their babies.
Yeah, Amy does have like the most sense of morality as a group, I think.
So here's the thing. You can stun that baby. I assume the parents are going to come charging at us. So we might have a bit of a fight on our hands. Unless we can get the baby out of there unnoticed somehow. But
If we get
Could get
this
ugly.
one,
Can we
if we
send
get
them
this
all?
one, and we either have to kill the parents or trap them. Because if we go into like the caves for other ones, they're gonna follow us in. We're gonna have to deal with it. But if we go into the cave, grab other ones, run out, we can grab that one on our way out and just leave them all.
stun the parents, yeah.
Or
Seems
just catch
better.
all of the parents at the same time instead of
Rather-
like some now, some later.
I'd rather not just like murder the parents for no reason if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just leave them to think about their young that got stolen in front of them for the rest of
They
their
can
lives.
make more.
Okay. So you want to follow them back to their caves? Is that the idea?
I
we
think.
can see where they live and then get more.
I think we saw them.
I'm like
Are you
pointing.
just-
I'm pointing at Cog.
They can make more. Oh,
We
because
could
they're a
take-
mated pair, so we could take the and then have them breed babies for us that we could sell. So that's better for sure.
Yeah.
If we do get the baby and the breeder pair, I can't imagine Mr. Boss douchebag being too upset. Right?
He did
Yeah, we
specifically
got-
say that he didn't want to breed them himself, so we
Oh,
could
right,
breed
he did
them,
do that.
He did
And
say
then-
no mated pairs.
give him the babies.
How long do we have? Does the spog look pregnant? What's the gestation period on a spog?
I'm glad you asked.
And then
So-
Alecto answers in Sam's voice because it was
So, spogs are like kangaroos. They are always pregnant. So they have
oh
like
god.
they have the babies that are like starting to grow up into adolescents and adults. They have the little ones that are just being born and they're looking after them, and then they are pregnant so that when the little ones are born, they can begin to gestate again.
Killer kangaroos are not always pregnant, but they are capable of being pregnant with multiple pregnancies at a time. Kangaroos are not always pregnant. I feel like that's a very important distinction to make for the autistics in our viewing group.
They could be.
How
They could
They
be
could
always
be.
pregnant. Yeah, female kangaroos specifically.
Edmund.
how many spogs are in like a litter? Is it just one?
I'm
or
so
multiple?
glad you asked. 12.
Oh god,
So,
I hate it.
guys-
Oh no.
Wonderful crew. I think we should nab the parents.
And the reason for this being is that they are middle of the food chain, and so their babies are very necessitated. So they have evolved so that they can have lots of offspring in order to be that integral part of the food chain.
So,
Alecto, just really quickly, just do a quick Google to see if these things have feelings about their babies and like love them, or if it's like spiders who like give birth and then die and just run away or whatever. Like, do we care about our young? These ones just run off into the forest after they're young, so I feel like question answered. But I want to know how bad I feel about this as Katie and Alecto.
Mental saving throw? Because you can find this information.
Yeah. Okay. I have to do stuff now. Okay, okay. I'm gonna roll a d20. It's weird that we've only at this point have I had a problem with this. I didn't really think about it. I'm like, oh no. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's a 2 plus. Nope, nothing, because it's a 2. My saving throw was 14, so.
So,
He's peeing.
almost.
yeah, this kind of distresses you a bit because you do look it up and they are sentient. Oh, hang on.
Are they here? Are they in the room with you now?
No, there's a plane, and I can hear it through these noise-canceling headphones, so I figure, like, my poor mic is just not enjoying that. Okay, let's get to this part.
There's no planes in Bussing Say.
This is what happens when you live under a major air route.
Felt.
So, yeah, what you kind of, like, recognize is that these creatures are sentient. They're not sapient, which we learned last night. And that means like they do show feelings towards like family units, and they do care about their own species, and whether they die or not. And this kind of hits Alecto for the first time, and you can take that how you will.
So, my question to all of you is like, let's say we take these three. We take the mating pair and the baby. We collect up the next litter and bring them, like all the babies, back to the boss man. What do we do with the mated pair? He doesn't want them. Do we bring them back here and just drop them off? Do we eat them? Are they edible?
It would be tough to do this twice.
They edible? I would have the mindset of like waste not
Me as well.
valuable life, as in like, yeah, we'll kill it, but we'll use every part of it.
Alecto looks
Are
up
spogs
recipes for spog, and there's a crap ton.
So they are.
What?
They're delicious.
Oh.
So they're space
So-
rabbits. They
I didn't
breathe
look
a
it
lot.
up.
They're delicious.
I didn't look it up.
I think
You can't
look
make
up
that
if they're
character
edible.
choice for me.
Okay, Cog looks it up and discovers that spogs are the like bacon of this world.
Eyes. We could eat for like
So-
2 weeks at least on these guys. And eat good meat. Good meat. I haven't had good meat in a long time, other than sandwich meat, which is pretty good. Better than desert meat, but like,
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's pretty tempting, honestly. Maybe that's
okay.
maybe that's the way to go. I don't want to just
I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to, like, I mean, like, obviously you're the captain, and, like, we'll do what we gotta do, but, like, I don't know, we saw the parents, like, run after their kids and, like, try to save them. Like, they clearly are, like, sentient beings who, like, care about their kids, so, like, it's
And
not...
we're contract hire hunters.
Yeah,
I
but,
mean,
like,
at
if we had
least-
been contracted to hunt, like, parents who were people and bring back the children of, like, humans, would we do it?
They're not like humans. Like, they care about, like, they're young, but not in a, like, human way. Like, in the same way that, like, I don't know, the same way that a sand grub would.
What?
I don't know the animals from where you're from.
You're like a dog.
Fair. Yeah, and I wouldn't eat
I
a dog's
mean-
babies either.
I
mean,
use
at
sand
least
grubs
if
to
we
keep my hair up, so
if we do this,
Not thinking.
then like they all get to hang out together in our hold until we arrive back at the consortium, and then we split them up. I mean, it's a bit grim, but like we eat meat all the time.
Yes, you do.
and most animals have feelings. I think.
We can kill them in a very humane way.
Okay, whatever. I'll do, like, whatever you want, Captain. You're the boss.
This is what we're hired for.
Yep. Yep. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Hey, so
You all
Bug
right, Alecto?
It's fine. Yeah. It's the mission. The orders.
takes off the glasses and hands them back to him, while rubbing one of their temples. Here, take these. I don't need them anymore. Thank you. Those. Let's just get these spogs. Then we'll worry about
Yep.
this screaming deaths, or whatever they were called.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we still.
Those we can kill. I'm fine with that.
What if they're sentient? What if they care about their families?
They're scary looking though.
I mean, they pose an actual threat. I guess that's the difference. It's like these guys are like fuzzy and cute and don't pose a threat. And so, and also like, I don't know, the dude we work for is kind of a dick, but you know.
Sure, an angry parent could pose a threat even if they are a prey animal.
Yeah, this might get a little hairy if we're gonna try and snatch all three of these, but
We've
are
got,
we
we've
all
got
good?
enough.
Are we? I'm not gonna like order anybody. Are we like in agreement here?
Yeah, we have tranquilizers for all of them. We can just shoot them with the tranquilizers, all of them, right?
I also
Yeah,
have
that sounds
3
good.
tarps, one of which is a mesh, like a net, a bunch of rope. I stole.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try and stun them all and then just wrap them up in the net.
I mean, they've been sitting here staring at us this whole time, so it shouldn't be too hard.
All right.
I could try and.
Good.
Before you get too far into your planning, I just want to float something to you. Somehow, these parents got their kid back from one of these screeching deaths. I just want you to
Okay.
think about that. Let that marinate.
Like, I assume that they're, like, not gonna be happy about being attacked. And, like, even though a moose is, like, not gonna care if you walk past it, if you start throwing rocks at a moose, it's gonna fucking trample you. Or if you get between it and its baby.
I want
So-
to talk about Noah's moose knowledge at a later
Yeah,
date.
that's what I mean by
I'm
like.
from up north, my guy. I actually walked down the driveway one day, coming back from school, and I wasn't paying enough attention. I was changing the song on my phone, and I saw a blob out the corner of my eye. I looked over, and there was like an adolescent moose, literally like that far away from me. Like I couldn't have reached out. That's literally what I said. Was, "Hey, buddy,"
And I got really tense, but I just like walked slowly up to my door, and it walked with me. And when I went through the door, it just kind of looked at me for a couple of minutes, and then like turned around and went back across the yard.
Didn't invite him in.
I think that he'd fit through out my stairs, TBH.
Then your house is not accessible.
Not the move.
Yeah.
So
I think
we're
that's really
thinking
like
that-
moose phobic.
So we're thinking that one, these things are maybe dangerous also as well as cute because they got the Maxim How. Also, two, there might be a like injured or dead Screechy boy out there that we could probably get.
Mhm.
So that's two factors. I think we like tag him and bag him, like just shoot him and boot him. I don't know how to hunt.
I want to set up a snare, like just in
Yeah.
case we like miss and can't hit them. So then maybe we can herd them into, or like past this snare, and then when they bag them.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
So I'll keep one of the tarps for if we like shoot them, and then I'll put out the other two as like traps with two of the loading units.
Okay, yeah, there's three total, so there's the baby and the two parents that are left. It sounds like you are making readied ranged attacks, so you'll have +2.
That's good.
And then you've got your contingency plan as well, which we can act out. So those of you who are lining up shots to stun and knock them out can make those rolls.
And how is that a 2d6 or is that a d20?
Yep, no, it's 2d6, and then you're adding shoot, and your
extra plus-
probably your dexterity.
Then another +2 on top of that for being ready.
That's right. You have the advantage, so yeah, it gives you a +2 for a readied shot.
Does that count for expert class?
I don't think so.
That's fine. I can still try to shoot.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
like, yeah. Sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like I know, like, in the game mechanics, like, one shot would be, like, one action or whatever. But, like, I don't know how long actions are in this. I feel like we could just leave the shooting to the captain and the rest of us can do the netting. Because they're the only one that can shoot, right?
Cog can. Oh wait, right.
Cog can shoot. Cog shoot?
Probably
I-
had stab or something.
I have punch. I have level 0 in punch. But I have close combatant, so I can shoot up close and ignore any like range efficiency.
Okay.
So I check, and I have, because it's plus dex, it would be +1. So the +1 and the -1 negative out. And it's just flat.
And you use like a pistol, right?
Yeah, I have a laser pistol.
Great. Because just as a quick meta aside, a two-handed rifle can actually not be used in melee range. So one-handed pistols can, and if you have that special talent or foci, that's what allows you to do that. But a rifle is special, and you won't be able to do it with a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like if we set him up to do a rifle shot from further away, we can go closer. Cog can have his laser pistol her laser pistol filled with the like tranquilizers, and then, sorry, what is Cog's pronouns? I suck.
Any.
Okay. And then like Amy and Alecto can throw a net over them.
Sure.
Yep, that sounds great. Here's the thing. So you don't have to necessarily throw the net if you want to like use a sneak movement or something different like that. That's totally acceptable too, because like yours is more kind of like the scene play, whereas theirs is more like the combat side of it.
Can I program a net?
I was thinking about setting them up like you run into it and then it'll like scoop you up type
Oh,
of trap.
interesting.
Okay, so then Amy and I can like chase them towards it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd
Like,
say like
say scatter and run, then you could try and herd them like, into trap, try and
So
escape
I
us
could
if
still
they
use their gun.
I'd say like that sounds like a lead check, like because you're trying to like push them towards a thing, or survival works, or you can just tell me, like I'm giving you suggestions, but if you feel like you've got this in your mind, like how it looks. And then what I was going to plant earlier, but it got delayed and then didn't matter anymore, but I think it is relevant here now, is that Alecto, if you're trying to like program something, remember like everyone, almost everyone has like compads or data links. You could program those to kind of give like visual cues to their HUDs, like go here now, go there. And,
That's. You are gonna regret the moment you told Alecto that, because
No,
now
'cause
he'll never get out of your heads.
Because I love that. That's like how
no,
I
I'm
see.
sorry. I meant they will regret that.
Oh.
Because Alecto will never be out of their heads.
I feel like lead, but using a dex
Mm-hmm.
bonus would make sense because we're leading them by chasing them.
Cool. Yep. And so if you want, you can Alecto and Aimee can help Cog in this and make your checks to make Cogs more accessible, more attainable.
I have a question. Did we hear distress screeching from the babies that got taken away? Was there any sort of yeah?
No.
No, there was no sound from the okay, well then I can't do what I wanted to do. It's fine.
So, Sam, I have a question here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shoot skill. I also have a base attack bonus. Is the base attack bonus basically for in combat only, and we're treating this more as a scene where I'm using the shoot skill instead of making separate attacks?
I'd say for you, it's you can treat it kind of like combat, because the rest of them are setting up the combat. Then think of it as you're creating the trap, and so the three of them are making the trap happen, and then combat starts and you make the combat happen because you're taking the shot.
So, attack rolls in this game are d20s, are they not?
No, it should say on your gun. Oh no, I guess that's the damage, isn't it? I don't know.
That's where I'm confused. How the shoot skill and the base attack bonus interact. I'm not super clear on that.
Okay.
I'm opening up a book here. I'm gonna try and do it quick.
I would imagine, because I think the only thing that's a d20 is the saves, right?
No, attack rolls are a d20. So.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna be rolling d20 3 times, kind of thing.
Yeah. So when an actor wants to hurt a target, they need to use their main action to make an attack roll. Attack roll represents not just one shot or swing, but the assailant spending the round trying to get in a good hit or a clean shot at the target. To make an attack roll, the assailant rolls a d20 and adds their attack bonus, plus their applicable skill level, and their attribute modifier, most relevant to the weapon that is used. If the total is equal to or higher than the target's armor class, the attack is successful.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
I ran to the washroom.
Run! In the meantime, I think how Alecto will help is yes, doing the net thing once they've, or whatever we're supposed to be doing, or chasing them, I guess, right? But I think I'm gonna use another psionic effort to do the same thing, just use my oracle and see what could go wrong, and then try to tell everybody what to do to fix it. Because maybe we make a bunch of noise and chase them, and then the scary cave bear thing wakes up, and then we all die.
That is not a possibility. That scene's. Oh, this is a different scene.
But we're near it.
Yeah, but every time you shift locations and you change what you're doing, it's a new scene.
Oh.
So like that way, like
That's-
it lets you use your abilities a lot.
I get it. It's hard for my neurodivergent brain to comprehend, but I get it. But yeah, no, I would definitely like be like, hey, maybe he misses his first shot because it's too wide or something, or like maybe when we like if we scare them that doesn't work, but or whatever. Like I just want to see, will they respond well to us trying to chase them, like all those things, so that I can give some instructions.
Or even see if Oracle can tell you they have a way to get out of the net, something like that, or like if the net will work.
The idea is that it looks like a minute into the future, which is all this should take, and so I should be able to see anything that would happen if we follow this plan, how it will go, so that we can see any of the problems that would come up. So whether it's like the net's too big, you don't hit one of them, like all of those things should show up in the next minute, right?
Yes.
Yes. So tell me everything that's wrong with our plan, please, GM.
As you like look into the future, breathe. What a perfect sound effect.
Just thank that creaky bathroom door.
Oh yeah.
It's so
double
it's
one.
beautiful. I love it.
Love it.
Never change. Never change.
No WD-40 for the door.
No, because it's important to know when somebody is coming or going from the bathroom.
It's
I
true.
hate when it wakes me up, right?
Yeah, that sucks. But if it's the middle of the night and everyone's in bed and that thing goes off, it's gonna be pretty scary. Anyway,
Tell me my future.
looking into the future as you look at the plan, it seems ironclad. The tarps work great as netting. Belker's shots go off. Everything looks great. You've covered your bases. You've thought this plan out really well. As long as you stick to the plan, it should go exactly as you intend it to.
Okay, then I will into everybody's comms go, hey, this is a good plan, so it'll be fine. Just don't do anything differently than what we just said. Okay, bye.
So that being said, it is other than Belker, who's making an attack roll, these checks will be a difficulty of 6.
Wait, am I making a check? What are we doing? What's happening?
Everybody else is rolling things. I'm waiting.
Yeah,
We're
so-
doing lead.
I'm rolling my psionics.
Mhm.
Ooh. So 4, 5. Oh, I think I just got 6.
6,
Yeah.
just enough.
Just 6.
6 is
just
6 is solid.
enough.
6 is solid. 5 total. No modifiers to whatever you're trying to add to, or they cancel out.
It cancels out.
5. Okay. So, that said, though, because both Aimee and Alecto helped you, it lowered the difficulty. So, as you get ready to throw your tarps, everything's in position. You throw or you've set them up so that the chops will come. You see Alecto and Aimee lead them into it, and you see that the two parents get lifted up and are trapped, and they cannot get out. The baby, though, slips through the net, and somehow there was a hole in one of the tarps that you didn't notice before, and the baby is small enough that it just out of the net and begins to like run away, and you see the parents like struggling to like get out of it when Belker takes his shot.
Shoot the baby first, I guess. Didn't see that in the future.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had trouble following that. So the parents are in the net right now.
Yep.
And the baby's running off.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to fire at the young one.
And you have a stun round, so this is a possible thing.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah, I think the whole time you are all like setting up that whole like expanse. Belker's just kind of like in the background, just getting himself a little like platform. He's like cleaning his gun, getting the stun rounds loaded, just like getting ready. And then the time comes and he fires his shots.
So it's shot, dex, and +2 for the situational bonus.
And +1 for my attack bonus, so that's a total +5. So I'm at a 10 right now.
Dang! Yeah, just like this, like you wait for it, you see it kind of like squirming a little bit, it zigzags out, and you just kind of get into the flow of its pattern. holding your breath, hitting your target perfectly as it just falls over, stunned. You hit it in its side, no chance of missing. You see that its little chest rises up and down. It's still breathing, it's just knocked out. What do you do with the parents now that they're all bound? They're struggling. They're making a good
Yeah,
run
like
of it.
shoot them too, right?
Yeah, knock them out.
I was going to
knock
shoot
them
them and trank both of them as well.
Totally. Don't even have to roll for this. This is just like, okay, everything is knocked out, bundled up, ready to go.
Woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
should we-
Success.
That was a good plan, everyone.
Sick.
Great work,
Should we-
team.
Should we take them back to the ship and like put them in the hold and then go after the?
That sounds right to me.
I mean, how long do they? How long do? Well, I mean, the ship is really far away, so how long do they stay tranquilized for?
A while.
think-
Now that you know where you're headed, you know the ship is only like 8 hours away with like carrying these things. They'll stay
Yes,
under.
but like. But also, that's 8 hours there, and then 8 hours back to get other stuff. Like, wouldn't we just? Like, we can always tranquilize them. Like, why wouldn't we just do it all at once?
How many more rounds of rank do we have?
We got like 20 or something, didn't we? We got like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I've got 17
Yeah.
left. But like,
We'll be
what
fine.
do we do? We're just going to leave them here? We're going to drag them with us? I don't
Well-
understand the logistics of this.
If we did use the little one as bait, and a little bit cruel, but I mean, we'd be protecting it, so like in theory it would survive. If we used that one as bait and then tied the parents up in 2 of our nets just for extra safety, we could do like a tarp and then the mesh one on top. Tie them up in like a tree branch or something so that they're just like suspended, and then if they do wake up, they would just be like writhing in there and we would know, and Belker could shoot them again, and then we don't have to like go anywhere. We just try and get the howling death to come to us.
Well, but also the parents were useful in killing the thing. I don't know how hard it is to kill the other thing.
That's true. We should follow, if we can find their tracks, see where they went off to
Yeah.
rescue the baby, because like there
Because-
might be one of these things lying on the ground moving
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
Unless
But like,
they're nesting creatures.
But if they
What?
beat up one of them to get their baby back, there might be one just like unconscious.
yeah,
right
we
now.
should try to track that and see if we can find one that's wounded on the ground, or like even wounded is better than
Yeah.
attacking us right now.
Yeah.
So let's do that first, because I don't want to go all the way back to the ship and then all the way back here, because that's stupid, because everything will be like all
Yeah,
the
that's
tracks
why
will be
I'm
gone by
saying
then.
we stay here and lure them here. Lure
Lure what?
a screeching death.
Right,
Howling
right,
death.
but there was a group of them specifically that just stole the babies of this particular mated pair,
That's
and
the
so yeah, it was like a few of them. However, they got one of the babies back and came back, which means one of them might be dead, and when we just have one for free, so we should go look and see if we can find anything that says that there's just a free dead one on the floor, and then we'll also know where they are, and that's great, and then we can drag these guys with us or whatever. But I think time is of the essence if we want to take advantage of the possible freebies.
That'll be close because they came right back here after. So like, we know it's somewhere real close by. We just gotta sweep the surrounding area.
Yeah, let's drag these guys behind us. Spiders are light, pigs are heavy, they're probably medium.
Yeah, each one is 40 kilos for each of the parents.
How much
We're
is that in
using
pounds?
kilos and meters.
A lot.
I was trying to
I know
help.
we're in Canada, but no one cares. Like, no one knows.
I can lift that. It's fine.
What is that in pounds? 80 something.
I still think that we should tie up
88
parents in a
pounds.
tree. If we're not
88.
going far, and if we tie them up, they wake up, they'll be up in the air and unable to like squirm free, right?
But they live. Sure,
It's like
whatever.
8 hours of them being passed out, and then we don't have to drag them
Yeah,
with.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not going to take us 8 hours to find, like, we can leave them here because it's not going to take us 8 hours to find the next thing and then come back
That
to
is
them.
exactly
But if
what
you
I'm
want to,
saying.
that is what you're saying. Great, we're on the same page. Let's leave
Put
them
them in
here,
a
and then
tree
we'll go. You want to put them in a tree still? Sure, put them in a tree. Let's do that. And then we'll go some screaming weenies.
Also, welcome to my job. Two people saying the same things and then finally realizing they're saying the same thing.
Oh, no, I knew we were saying the same thing. I just didn't think it was necessary to put them up in a tree because they're passed out. That was the part where I was confused. I was like, we can probably just leave them here. But also, who fucking cares? Put them in a tree.
Sorry, not say it. You want the same things. You're good. You got it.
We want the same things, yes.
So, all right. So you're going to search through the jungle for whatever happened to the other screeching horrors.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great. How are you searching?
Maybe we're searching for next week's episode where we do that. Because that's
Oh
not
wow,
very fun.
it's super is wow. Where does time go? What is time? I don't know anymore.
What even is time?
Well, I have exciting news for you because at the end of the session, you've done enough successful actions to gain 3 experience points, which means level 2.
Oh, exciting.
I don't know what
Let's
that
go.
means, but I'm very excited to not
We
suck
will
so much all the
find
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did great. And level up stuff. I'll go to page like 56 of the PDF or 60 of the book, and you'll find all the stuff about leveling up and how to improve your character. New hit points, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Additional hit points. What?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I only have 2.
Like, to be fair, nothing's hit you yet, but that's probably because you have 2 hit points.
I'm very cautious.
The group
Yeah,
did
but
great at
very
being cautious.
Yep.
Just making sure. It's just like whoop whoop whoop. But yeah, let's finish this up. Wait, let me push this button and then Katie, tell us about who you are. Where to find you?
I'm Katie. You can find me on a beach wearing one of those like weird horse head things with a bottle of vodka just hanging out of my hand, or just in my bed with my pregnancy pillow wrapped around me even though I'm not pregnant, or on Instagram at critical.spark, and also here on Fablemancers, bringing the magic and the weird dweeby comments. I just really want to do like a yin to Mince Yang, where they're all like, I'm a frog in a cute little mushroom under a tree, and I'm like, I am a trash goblin who lives under your stairs. And that's where you'll find me. So like, we're gonna make that happen now.
Yeah, Noah.
Noah, on to you.
I'm Noah. I can be found on Instagram at Radioactive Voidfish and on Tumblr at Radioactive Inkstains. Do art and all sorts of creative stuff, so if you want to see what I do in my spare time, it's where you can find it. And I'm also here on Fablemancers. So.
Carl?
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at A Field of Carl, and you can also find me being just the sleepiest guy in town.
Yup. And confirm.
Hi, I'm Mint. You can find me in the dew of the early morning whispering into everyone's ear, land back, or on Instagram at monomints.
I legitimately, in my head, was like, they're gonna use a dew. Like, I was like, a dewdrop of something, and then you said the word dew, and I was like, we are telekinetic. Telepathic. Fuck. Oh.
We are
I
land back.
so
And
good.
back.
Someday.
Mhm.
But hey, I'm Sam, and I was the GM for this adventure tonight. And you can find me at Chef Kargs on all sorts of social platforms. Catch me on Questline, where next week or this week, yesterday. That's when that's airing. You'll see the first episode of Star Trek Adventures, where the crew of the Binary face their first on-stream challenge together. We've been playing Star Trek Adventures a little bit on the side, so when we finally get to play it on stream, it's going to be a blast. You'll see some shenanigans at the top and more shenanigans as we go. Yeah, so that's that. But thank you for watching, and remember, the dice roll your story, but you weave the tale. Bye!